To do is bring in Adam Swarth, the CEO of Crowds on Demand, to talk much more about how all that works and really to help break it all down for us. Adam, thank you so much as always for taking the time to be here with us.
My pleasure, Josh. It's great to be with you.
And Adam, first off, I wanted to talk to you just a little generally here because, of course, you have your company, Crowds on Demand. But I wanted to ask, people actually do pay for protesters to show up.
That's correct, right? And there's a lawful legal use of paid protesters, just like paid lawyers or paid other kind of advocates. And provided that they are abiding by all laws, they're not blocking roads without a permit, they are not, engaged in violence or vandalism, it's a completely legal practice. And in my view, it's actually an ethical practice. It's a way of bringing attention to an issue to compensate people to show up. That's what Crowds on Demand does. Now, when it comes into paying people to do something that is unlawful, that is unacceptable, of course, and that is something that needs to be taken seriously.
And explain to me the difference there, because something that you hear a lot when you have these protests, I mentioned it, but a lot of people will talk about, hey, these are paid protesters out there and these are paid agitators. So explain to me kind of the difference there, how your company works, all of that for folks who are watching.
Well, first off, I think that both sides, right and left, love to sort of accuse the other side of being compensated as if to delegitimize the other side, right? Like even the term astroturf, right? It comes from the idea that people on my side are genuine, people on your side are not. So I think there's a little bit of a finger pointing, finger wagging going on there where people want to try to delegitimize the other side. But when it comes to agitators, right, that's a whole different class. Agitators are people who are actually there, sometimes paid, sometimes actually these are basically pirates. They're there to loot. As crazy as that might seem, they see opportunities for chaos with large-scale demonstrations, and they come in to create chaos either for fun or to actually make money off of it in some sort of criminal activity, capitalizing off chaos. And that obviously is completely unlawful, and the authorities should be on the lookout for it. But I would also recommend that the protesters themselves be on the lookout for these agitators, because these agitators can cause disruption to the protest and also delegitimize what they're trying to do. Because if you have a group of 10,000 people and you have two people that are creating problems, then that can be magnified through kind of a reducto ad absurdum type of thing where now it looks like the whole protest is.
But it's like he's trying to run a one-man band out there behind his seat. And we've come out this is a make or break season. He's got an impact. Good morning. I should say, actually, good afternoon. We're live at 12 o'clock today in the building. We got a lot going on. The No Kings protest. We're going to bring up live in the building. We got a lot of conversation today. People over the weekend, if you saw what I saw, we saw a lot of people out there in the streets. We are very interested to see Republicans, Democrats, how you feel about it today, live on the show, live debate. People coming into the building right now, live in our damn studio, live in attendance today with James Piccolina, baby in the building.
What's up? Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday.
I screwed you up because I said good morning. All right, look, in the building right now, we got a lot to talk about, James. We're going to talk about the No Kings protest. Are Democrats confused? Are Republicans wrong? We're going to talk about a lot of things. Trump, is he doing too much? Is he overextending? We're talking about the war in Iran. We're going to talk about a lot of things that are transpiring, why people are walking in the streets. What is our main reasoning? We're going to talk about paid protesters. We're going to talk about people that are actually voting. Are these votes legal? All these things today. So live in the chat right now. If you're watching in the building right now, we appreciate you. Do you agree with the protest? Yes or no? How are you feeling? We're going to dive into it. We got videos. We got clips. We're going to start with that today, live on our damn screen, James, because I got some videos that I know people are like, what the hell's going on? Let's show some of this. Let's show some of the interaction. Let's show what people are seeing out there.
Mandate to even be talking to him. He wouldn't have to call up Mike Johnson and Thune and say, fellas, you got to pull this off, and after years we get it done. No, we're not a king. We're not a king at all.
I set my coffee on that, James, because they're calling him a king.
Okay.
When they say no kings, when they say no kings protest, or walking around, people that are watching live right now, We got to understand what the reality is. People on the Republican side are like, what are they doing? Democrats like, we know exactly what we're doing. So people, we got to understand the reality of what's happening. The people on the Democratic side are walking saying because they feel like Trump is being a king. He's overstepping. He's doing things without asking Congress, or he's initiating war, and maybe some people didn't want that, or he's doing X, Y, Z that people are like, you shouldn't do that, or you're taking too much power. Okay. In this country, we all know we don't have kings and queens. We don't follow that dictatorship rule. We have America just operates on a different tune, right? We all get that. When Trump steps in, he gets things done in a manner that he should not get them done, but he is getting them done. If you agree with what he's doing, but you don't like how he did it, then immediately people are like, he's overstepping, and that's what we're getting to. And then it's the war in Iran. It's hey, you're over there, you're taking out their leaders. Are the Democrats happy? Are they upset about that? Are we putting our own people at risk? Like, that's what we're talking about today. I know a lot of people are upset about it. When you're watching millions of people around the world, because this isn't small anymore, right? And we had a lot of people voted for Kamala Harris. So it's not like they initially weren't there. These same people are still there. They're not leaving Kamala Harris. They're not leaving the Democratic Party. So at any given time, if they do a protest, these people are going to be there regardless. We just also understood and learned all morning. I studied this and saw that there's paid protesters. Now, I didn't know that. And I'm sure it's on both sides. But what I'm saying is, can you imagine how many people are walking the streets that are actually paid, and how many people that are walking the streets that are just walking the streets to be a part of something? That's going to happen on both sides.
Well,
so
yeah.
I'm going to make that clear. But
I was just saying, you get what you pay for. And if anyone wants to hire me to be a professional protester, you could contact bookings at
right.
Yeah.
Dude, this is what's happening though.
Yeah.
Like the reality is paid protesters is ridiculous on both sides. If you're going to show up because you're paid, it is a symbol. Like, you're symbolizing the U.S. with people walking down the road. That's not real. I don't believe that should be correct on both sides. I'm not saying just Democrats. Here's why I think they're confused. Trump is in the office. Kamala Harris wanted to be in the office. The first thing is to take care of America first. For every president, not just Trump, for every president. And I honestly feel that even if he screws up or messes up, I believe his goal is he does want America to be the most powerful. He wants America to be the best. I do agree with that. When I look at people like Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, I think they want America to be great. But I think that they welcome things that are a little bit unorthodox. Now, unorthodox, is that a bad thing? Not always, right? Being different is okay. But you welcome the people that are walking around like dogs on the ground. They got dog collars on. Now, this is a smaller demographic. Don't get me wrong. But when you see people like Mamdani and all the praying, all the Muslim and all that, it's becoming overwhelming. We talked about that last week. I feel that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they welcome all that. And they're like, this is great. And then Donald Trump's like, this isn't great. We're teaching our kids things in school. Listen, I had a clip on here of this girl I think it's a girl. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. It's got blue hair. It's cut a certain kind of way, angled over, and it's like duct taped around her mouth. And she said, this is how she communicates. It's like this whole thing, right? Now, if you want to get purple hair, that's up to you, right? If you want to show up in school and you want to be a distraction, that's going to be a problem for a lot of people in the classroom. That's going to be a lot of problem, I think, for parents, right? If my kids go to a great school, people in the chat right now, shout out to all you beautiful people watching live in the building right now, smack that like button. We're debating. I want to know, do you think Democrats are confused, yes or no? And this is just a question I'm asking you. Do you think Democrats are confused? They're at the No Kings protest for a reason. Are they confused, yes or no? My biggest question is this. Being different is great. I think Democrats have this pride on being different. Literally, I think that. And why I say that is because when you see the blue and the purple and the rainbow cuts and all this kind of stuff, a lot of that is Democrats. I'm not saying Republicans don't do it, but it's 90%, 95, maybe 98% at this point, Democrats. Just blue hair, green, orange, and obnoxious. When I say obnoxious, it's just so loud. That to me seems like a cry for help in a certain kind of way. I want to be important. Hey, look at me, right? When you go to the gym as a guy and you're masculine and you're working out and you get your little tight shirt on, you're like, oh, look at me, I look good. Like, you want to feel good about yourself. You want people to know you look good, right? You're like, hey, look at me, I go to the gym. That is different than when you start creating this loud image for people to just look at. a major distraction. When you got the rainbow hair going on and you're walking around in classroom, what do you think a 9-year-old's looking at? You got a 10-year-old girl transition to a guy or a guy transition to a girl. These are major distractions. Why do I say this? Trump is trying to eliminate a lot of that stuff. Democrats not happy about it. You have the LGBT, they're walking out there and they're protesting because they don't believe that like their rights should be outspoken as well. Why am I talking about this kind of stuff? Is because every single thing that Trump tries to do, it has an effect and a lot of people don't like it. But if I take a step back, I can see where his brain is at, what he's trying to do. And it always boils down to, is he doing it the right way?
Right.
I think that's what the problem comes down to.
But I think there's a lot of things going on here, right? So I think there's one thing where you talk about the issues that are the U.S. issues, like transgenders in girls' sports and things like that, or what is being taught in the schools. And you had a lot of even the Republicans on board with this, right? But now with this whole war, right? Now we have a big issue on our hands, and you even have people that are Republicans not very happy with what's going on. Even our military people are speaking out against the war. Like nobody wants to go have their friends die for Carg Island or whatever,
So do you think? So you think the No Kings protest is primarily about the war?
I think at this point, I think it's shifted to that. But
I agree with you, though.
Yeah,
I think wholeheartedly it's about the war.
We're not being told everything that's going on there. Like Iran sent ballistic missiles and they blew up one of our most sophisticated planes. The one that has the little circle on top of it.
I have the video.
We don't have many of those. And they took it out. And now they mobilized the Marine.
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
The Marine Expeditionary Force. Those guys are like the most badass ones. They go in first to let the other Marines come in.
Yeah.
And then they also activated the 82nd Airborne, right? What comes next? Like that's the invasion.
So your concern is the war.
Right, everything. The people watching, like we're all paying the price for this war. And
but I'm saying Democrats in general in the streets.
Yeah,
their focus point. The tip of the iceberg, people will say, is the war. Like right this has made it massive.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
But before the war happened, they were already starting impeach Trump before the war.
Right, because the way he moves, because he's doing things that are not.
That's what I want to get at.
Supposed to be moving like that. Yeah.
So let's just say this. The war, they are focused on that heavily. I'm going to pull at the bottom of the screen here. I want to ask you guys something, the people watching live in the chat right now.
Do you think it's getting too much? Remember, like
I think this. I think, say you have another president in office, we might not be at war right now. We might not know what Iran is doing right now. We might sit back going, everything's good, until it's not good. So my opinion is it feels rambunctious right now. Yes. It feels crazy right now. It feels out of pocket right now. A lot of people watching live right now, they're like, shit, there's a lot going on. I'm not happy about it. I'm sad about it. Everybody feels like that. No, most of the American troops and most of people going to war, most of mothers, fathers at home, they got kids. And people, they're raising the age limit to go to war.
Yeah, 42.
Right? So I'm not saying
that, you could go.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, they're wrong for feeling that kind of way. Everybody feels like that. Republicans feel like that. But we have to take a look at what's actually happening. People are going to say it's Israel's war, not our war. If Iran takes over Israel, which could happen, the matter said they got going. If we didn't help out Israel right now, they would be toast. If we didn't help out Israel right now, we realize that Israel's tough, but we realize if we're not helping Israel, we got some problems. Realistically, they can't do what we can do. Israel isn't even, are they still in the war? At this point, we're just taking over the war. The Strait of Hormuz, we've become the talking conversation of the world right now.
Yemen just went in with Iran, with what is it, the Houthi rebels they have? Like they're declaring war on the U.S. too now.
Yeah.
So
because they have to choose, people have to start understanding you got to choose a side. And I don't feel that every day we wake up and we should be like, we got to wake up, we got to choose a side because we have to make sure we're on America or Iran side. That feels like shit, right? But the reality is, death to America every day is not someone I want to be. That's not the team I want to be on. I'm just saying. Russia has told Iran, they already told them to stop. Russia doesn't want them to keep going. Russia said, please stop the war, because if we take over Iran, then Russia is really, and China start to feel, okay, we're really taking over. Like U.S. is getting stronger. And that's bad for them. So they're going to protect Iran the best they can. They're going to supply weapons. They're going to supply technology. Without Russia, without China, this war is over.
It's just complex. And this is, I think, the biggest criticism of the Trump, one of the biggest criticisms of the Trump presidency is that he just makes these decisions that seem very brash. They go in and it's not as simple as like a real estate deal or telling somebody off. Like these things are so intertwined. You know, this is a big geopolitical issue, and you even have Russia getting more money now because of this. So there's all these other things that are happening where as I told you before, like I doubt, you know, the advice that the president's getting sometimes. Like who's advising
But when
him?
Obama was in office and he went to war for years, Democrats were like, no one was happy about it, but Democrats were like, impeach Obama. You didn't hear that. Because
what war did he start? I don't know.
But I'm saying going to Afghanistan, going to Iraq, the things that we did for years. When we were killing troops, our troops got killed when we had Joe Biden, the way he exited that whole war.
Well, that was set up by Trump.
But no, but I'm saying, what I'm trying to explain is no one looked at Obama. This is what I'm trying to say from a perspective of what I saw growing up in the family, Republicans and Democrats. No one ever ridiculed Obama for nothing.
Hey,
he was perfect.
He got criticized for
No,
his khaki suit.
No, I'm saying on Democrats. They might have talked about a suit, but they're not talking about like his operation.
Because every side just talks shit on the other side.
Right. So that's my point. But we didn't have what you're seeing right now. They were at war for years. We've been at war for 20 days. Like, and I know that it's bad, and we look at it and go, why? My understanding of the war is that we believe that Iran, they have horrible leaders, and they're just bad people in the world in general. The people in Iran are good people, but the leaders are horrible. Do I think they have more than what we imagine? Probably, right? They're set up in a way that maybe our country's like, and our military was like, shit, we know they had that capability. But I will tell you this much. I'm glad that we're taking all those capabilities away now, the best we can, because if we waited 5 more years, my honest opinion is if we gave Iran 5, 10 more years to continue developing and building what they were building, this could have been a 50-year war.
But that's assuming everything is true,
Correct.
which we don't know. And then I would tell you this, like,
I'm assuming that because they say death to America and they chant it all the time. And I'm not saying that everybody's doing that, but I'm saying those leaders do not like America.
Right,
we don't grow up saying death to Iran. So I'm trying to say this. We don't every morning wake up going, death to Iran, death to Iran leaders. I don't know anybody. Right. I don't even study Iran.
So
they wake up every day. We're not at war with them on a daily basis. They wake up and they do that. And they teach, here's the worst part. They teach these young kids this. So can you imagine you wake up, you're like, I pledge allegiance to the flag. You're taught as a kid to do the allegiance. You're taught, your flag, all this in school, the Statue of Liberty. We have all these amazing things in this country. We grow up like that. Iran is growing up like this. Death to America.
Right.
And so they're taught that. So those leaders, to me, are horrible people.
Right.
Now,
but you know what helps have them follow that? It's our missiles blowing their stuff up, right? So like at some point you have to be like, all right, I know they're chanting death to America. Maybe they hate us because they ain't us, right?
Yeah.
But like, what about, how do you repair that? And a lot of the stuff.
They hate us because we protect Israel.
Right.
Realistically.
But you could also like, there's other diplomatic ways to stop the whole chanting death to America, because I guarantee you for the next, I don't know how many generations, they're still going to be chanting death to America because we killed all those kids in school. Right.
But see, okay, so we're going to dive into that right now too. So I got a video I'm going to show first and foremost. People that are watching live in the building right now, I'm going to answer some of these questions. But let me show this clip real quick because we didn't show this right now. This is what I want to show you. We got to explain this right here.
Until we have done everything in our power to bring the United States to its knees, let us not lose sight of the enemy. For every U.S. military base that crumbles, and for every U.S. soldier who returns home in a casket, we cheer. Hamas, Hezbollah, Ansarallah, all of the resistance forces we celebrate. These popular voices on the ground spend every waking moment.
So without even watching the whole video, right? New York City, Philadelphia, Democratic states are welcoming that. And when I say welcoming, it isn't like, hey, set it up. I'm not saying that. But when they're seeing people produce that, death to America, let's kill our own military, those people shouldn't be living here. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have freedom of speech, because that's what it's going to be. Freedom of speech. I can say what I say. Yeah, but you're standing here saying, you want to see our military die at war, and those are our people going to war. Those people shouldn't be living here. They should be living in Iran. Like, that's my opinion. Now, why Republicans are mad about that? They look at Democrats, they go, you got to be the weakest motherfucker to be sitting there looking at that, thinking, I got cousins in the military right now. They're sitting there chanting that. And we have Democrats sitting there like, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. It's freedom of speech. That's not freedom of speech anymore. That's you will want America to lose a war and you live in the same country we live in. That's ridiculous. Now, you might want another leader in office. I'll give you that. You might say, hey, I don't like how he's doing this. I don't like how he's doing that. But guess what? Ukraine went to war. Joe Biden's supplying them with weapons. He's involved, right? Joe Biden's involved. Kamala Harris is involved. We're at war with Russia, basically helping Ukraine. So we were at war before Trump got in office. Went to war. Trump steps in. His goal was to stop the war. It's not stopping. He promised he would do it. He didn't get that done. But Joe Biden didn't get it done. Kamala Harris didn't get it done. But they weren't complaining as much. Republicans were like, hey, we got to stop sending money over there. Democrats are like, nobody complained. And what I'm saying is you didn't see all these protests. You didn't see people walking around going, the Democrats walking around saying, we got to stop the war in Ukraine. You didn't see that. Why are they gone then? So my point is, and I always bring this up to you, is they should, in theory, stand on business. If they believe in something, stand on the same exact thing. I'm not saying you should love Trump now. I'm saying,
well, he's the one that said we're not going to war in Iran.
Yeah, but I'm saying when we stepped in, they didn't protest against Joe Biden or Kamala Harris at all. They thought that was wonderful. Now that if Trump stops the war, if Trump stopped the war in Ukraine right now, if he stepped in and stopped the war, they'd say, they would come up with something else.
Because he said he was going to. He still hasn't.
But if he did, what would they do?
I don't know.
Do you think honestly, if Trump stepped in the first day and the war was over, Democrats are gonna be like, good job, Trump. They're not gonna do that.
Well, I think it helps his resume,
100% would. Agree with that.
Right.
And we'd be like, Democrats retarded at that point. But my point is, anything that he does though gets impeded by the next thing that he promises because it didn't work out. So I think, and I agree with this, he says so many things so fast. Bro, it's like you're gonna be a professional athlete, you're gonna be a helicopter, you're gonna be a pilot, right? You're gonna win the Olympic, you're gonna do all this stuff at once, and you can't do all this at once. And you have to know who's on board with you, right? And so I think he has all these great ideas in his mind that might make America great. The hard part is
what happened
how he's attempting to do it and to bring America together during the process. I don't think any president in the last XYZ years has done that. So I'm not knocking him for that. I'm just saying that no president has brought the people together in a way to unite and focus on us first. They got in, they knew what was things that they don't like. They're trying to handle all the shit and it's not working out.
Yeah, because his party they still keep blaming Joe Biden for gas prices, right? They keep blaming everything. Like it's their same speech for campaigning was, it's always blaming everything on the Democrats, blaming everything on Joe Biden, even going well into this, come on.
Well,
right?
I'll say this. I do agree that Joe Biden was an issue for a lot of things, but it has been some time now. We're over a year, we're going to 18 months, whatever we're at right now, that Trump is in office, right? If gas prices are up or down, first off, gas prices did come down. They were coming down until the war. So gas prices did come down.
I know.
But when the gas prices came down, we didn't see Democrats thanking Trump for nothing. That's why. So this is my point. I wish this is how I bring Republicans, Democrats together. If you're in the chat right now, watching live, we appreciate you. Put an R if you're a Republican, put a D if you're a Democrat right now. Here's what I'm saying. If you're watching this live right now, here's what I want to explain. I wish that the Democrats, when gas prices went up with Joe Biden, they said, gas prices are way too high. What are we doing? And then Trump gets in, gas prices come down. They go, thank you for doing that, for helping out. If it goes back up, they say, come on, Trump, you're bringing gas price back up. I would right. I would 100% support Democrats because they are doing exactly what's happening. They're riding the wave, but they're explaining it every single time. When Joe Biden's in office, no complaints.
Yeah, but
You've seen California, bro. Gavin Newsom has that state so screwed up. Those people in California have no idea. Their life is so screwed. They have the most beautiful. Their state is beautiful. They got all these great things. They have horrible taxes, horrible gas prices. Even when we have low gas prices, they still got high gas prices. That state is so screwed up because of Gavin Newsom and how that's being run out there. They say no kings to Trump all the time. These people are running this shit forever. Nancy Pelosi, she's been there for like 150 years. You go back, Bernie Sanders, you go back, the Clintons, they've been in there for so long. When we talk about no kings, a king stays forever. Nancy Pelosi is a dinosaur.
I mean, look at Mitch McConnell.
She's a dinosaur, though.
Yeah, but there's people on both sides of the fence. I just think that always disparaging the other side is never going to bring unity in any way. And I think just the main point here is that most people.
Yeah, but Democrats are the ones doing that.
No, but like it's more complicated. It's not just one. It's not never just like one.
Who
person.
complains the most? Who complains the most all the time? Honestly,
I think both sides do.
Who complains? Okay, people always have something to say, but I'm talking about the complainers, bro. It's the Karens. It's the blue hair, haircut. It's the people walking around like dogs and like they are walking around on the streets with literally with leashes on. Those people are walking around like they literally are on salary for this stuff. Like they are peeing on plants, James, on the side of the road.
That's
Again,
gross.
a smaller percentage, right, of people, obviously. Democrats are have collars on. You don't see Republicans doing this, walking around peeing on plants on the side of New York City highways. I'm sorry, on streets. What the hell is that? That is called a mental problem, right? And so what is that to the Democrats? Oh, it's just a normal person. No, it's not. That person's sick, right? If the person's a Republican and they are wearing a collar, I'm going to tell him that he is sick. She is sick because I am calling it right down the middle. A Democrat saw a Republican doing that, they'd be like, look, this guy's crazy. But because it's a Democrat, oh, it's okay. Short guy. I got the picture. I'm going to show you in a second play.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show this clip real quick because I think we agree on a lot of things. But the concern is how things are going right now. Let me show this clip real quick.
The No Kings demonstration taking over Midtown Manhattan. Some people told us why they're here today.
There's a lot of animosity towards this administration, and I think people feel a little rudderless. So events like this bring a coalition of people that have maybe some shared resentment, but also key issues that they care about.
I'm here because I can't express how much I hate Donald Trump. And I think that he's just ruining our country.
Demonization of internal enemies, glorification of violence and cruelty, appeals to a mythical past and racial superiority, intolerance of dissent, and unquestioned.
She went to Harvard grad school to write that sign, right? And so I do believe that I understand why these people are upset. I do, because just the war in general makes everybody upset and uneasy and unhappy and all that. If we would have went in there and took out Iran's military day one and it was like, done, they're toast, we took it over, we own the operation, we're fixing it, they're building their country, people would be like, well, I guess it worked out good, right? And so because we're seeing the prolong and Trump's messages, war's over. Next day, our troops die, or more Israel people get blown up, or our plane jets get shot down. That's where the confusion comes in for Republicans. Republicans like, wait, hold on a second. You just said this, but Democrats are going to be upset no matter what. That's the problem. They are upset no matter what Trump does. They are rooting for Iran in our cities.
But like, I think there's so many separate issues here. Like, I think everyone should be upset. Like, imagine your coach.
We are upset.
Your coach, like the head of this country. If you thought of him like a coach, you want an effective leader, and you can't have your coach change the game plan all the time. Tell us, oh, this is what we're going in, what we're going to expect, and it keeps going back and forth. That's why I don't trust anybody.
But all coaches do that.
But
every
not
coach
like
is
that.
Every coach is like, we're gonna go in. We got a game plan. We're gonna win. Every boxer, I'm gonna win this fight. Every UFC fighter, I'm gonna knock him out because he thinks I'm not tough. Or I'm gonna keep the pressure. Every leader.
Well, you don't say we're winning, we're losing. I mean, come on, there's differences.
But every leader has to stand up and be like, we are winning. If you're winning, right? And I believe that we are winning the war. But the economy, the side behind the economy, the gas prices, the Strait of Hormuz, what's going on? Are we going to lose soldiers? If we lose one soldier, it's one soldier too much.
Well, you know what it feels like? It feels like you're sacrificing the team and the fan base of making money. If America was a sports team, that's what it feels like. Because it feels like
that might be that, but part of that. Anytime you go to war, and I hate that, but that's true. A lot of times when you go to war, Obama, we lost a lot of people. We lost a lot of people. Deal with Iraq and Afghanistan. We lost a lot of people. I have friends that were in the military that were over in Iraq, you know. So here's the thing, though.
Like we're being pulled into another one.
But that's why I say Democrats are confused, because they didn't complain then.
But don't you see all the Republicans upset about this?
Because Republicans are saying they're upset because they have a right to be upset. But Republicans were upset before too. Democrats are upset now because Trump's in office. This is my biggest concern. What I'm saying is this. Democrats have every reason to wake up in the morning and go, I'm really upset about the war. So do Republicans. And if Republicans don't wake up and go, God, I wish this wasn't going on, you're probably not really human, because everyone's not happy about it, right? The difference is we had Republicans upset last time. We have Republicans upset this time. Democrats only upset this time. And the reason why I say that is because they have protests going on all over All over every state has a little protest going on. Democratic states, they let them chant Iran. They burn American flags. They let it all happen. Republican states, not happening. You can do your protest. That's fine.
No, they do some crazy things, like when they were chanting "blood and soil" and what.
No,
North Carolina,
they
all these
attempted
crazy things.
North Carolina
Come
also
on.
voted blue last election. So,
But it's like it's not even. This isn't a
but not
Democrat,
here,
Republican
not in
thing.
Florida, not in Florida.
Because it's too hot and humid down here. No,
But it's got to be Republican Democrat thing because No King's protest is Democrats. There's not many the paid people that are out there walking. I'll tell you this right now. When you talk to Republicans about this whole thing, here's what I get. I'm going to be honest with you. This is my honest opinion. When I talk to a Republican about the No King's protest, if they're in the chat right now, they're going to be like, Trump, right? Because they got to support our president, right? Mm-hmm. But if you talk to a Republican one-on-one and go, how do you feel about it? They're going to go, dude, I hate this, bro. Because they're real people. Yeah. They are real people having real conversation. Mm-hmm. And they said the same exact thing the last time we were at war. They say the same exact thing every single time. We talk about ICE. We got to get those people out. We feel bad for those families that are losing their freaking kids and whatever, but they got to go. It's a straight conversation. When you get to Democrats, the conversation gets very confusing. I'm telling you. And the reason why I say this is because if they just said, look, we're not happy about the war. It's not fair. We shouldn't be going there. Good answer, right? Mm-hmm. When they got people walking around with collars on and dogs and all that, men and women's sport, they want men to play in women's sports. These are the same people telling you, I got a video, bro. There's a transgender teacher, okay? Later I'm going to post on social media. A transgender teacher. That is a Democratic location. Trust me when I tell you. And is teaching, and it's like, well, I'm a transgender, and I'm teaching in school, and these kids, they want to know what I'm doing. You should not be teaching there. Not because we are against transgenders, but because you are confusing every single kid in your classroom. They're looking at you like, why are you wearing a dress right now? And you are a 44-year-old middle-aged man, and you have a beard. Like, it's weird. It's scary. It's weird. It's awkward. Democrats, I don't know with that. You can be what you want to be in life. Yeah, that's great. Be what you want to be at home.
It's how you.
But I'm saying, Mamdani is going to welcome that. Mamdani is putting transgenders in office to say he did it. If he puts a transgender in office and he goes, you know what? If he puts a transgender in office in New York City and helps out and builds whatever, and they are qualified like a motherfucker, they are qualified, they're the best for the job, give them the job. That's how I feel, right? But let's not make it a distraction, though. Let's not make it about, we put a transgender. That doesn't matter. When Mamdani run, we didn't say we put a straight male in office. We just said we got Mamdani as he's in office. Trump ran for president. We didn't go, we got a straight male president. No, if we have a transgender running for office as a president, we're going to say the first transgender, the first black. That's what creates racism. That's what creates, people to be segregated, literally to focus on the fact that this person's a transgender instead of being, this person is extremely talented. If I had a transgender that was doing surgery on I hate to say one of our family members, a person that we know, let's say that, right? And a transgender was extremely talented, great. They are talented. They're doing the job. Put them in there. Why? Because they're better. That's why they should be there. Not because they're the first transgender to do a surgery on an open heart. Like, doesn't make sense. And that's what we get. When you watch the NFL, James, you get the first black coach to win, a playoff game and with another black coach. Like that, what does that do? That just makes everybody go, oh, we got black coaches now? We don't have black coaches now? Spreading the awareness to say, look, this guy's very qualified. Why is he not getting this position? He's the most qualified. Is it because of race? Bringing that up is fine, right? To ask a question because why is it happening? But to get him in the Super Bowl and you got two black coaches, why are we making that a point? Oh, we got the first time ever two black, coaches and use the same water fountain. It's just so much shit. That is what Democrats do. That's why I'm saying that. Now, is it good to bring some awareness to it? Yes. But that's why Democrats are very confusing because they stir up the pot so much. Like, just call a spade a spade. Transgender office because the person is the best qualified. If the person is not best qualified, then they got to go. Trump's going to be against that. That's more No King's protest.
Right. But like what I think is the outcome of this is that No King's protest is unifying people from the right and the left, ironically.
Not if you got Trump dragging down the street on a chain.
But the idea is that what he's done with this war is not put America first. And you have are more people concerned about prices at the pump? Are they concerned about the grocery prices? Iran was not on anybody's radar until recently, right?
But I disagree with that because I think that Iran has been on the radar of every president since they've been in there. They talk about it.
Not for most Americans, and that's why.
Not for Americans because we don't know the intel.
Right, because we don't know the intel.
Yes.
But most people don't care. Most Americans
Agreed.
care more about the cost of medical care, all these other issues, not this. And now you have.
But then when Iran takes over, and we're talking Chinese, our kids.
It's a big if and when.
It is a big if.
And that's assuming that everything we're told is true, which it looks like it doesn't look exactly that way. It's not very clear, and we have trust issues now with the
I got a message on here that just popped up. I want to say, and by the way, I love everybody in the chat right now. I love everybody that's coming in here, and I truly mean that. I don't care what side you're on. I got a message right here that someone is responding and says right here that they have held. Oh yeah, actually, Brittany just put that. Let's focus on that. I love our freaking moderators too, by the way. Brittany said, Albert M. Greenfield School, they had a drag story hour. Like, this is the kind of thing that they're bringing attention to in democratic locations. You're not going to see that here because they want that to be an importance. Bro, that's not important. Whether the person is a drag queen, when you're watching Coco Melon, if you're watching live in the chat right now, you know, it's 100 people in the building right now, you know what I'm talking about. Your kids watch Coco Melon. We don't have to watch Coco Melon and then have a drag queen in Coco Melon.
Yeah.
We don't need to have that, James. What's the point of that? That's very scary for our kids. Now, Trump will say, we're getting that out of here. What Democrats do? No King's protest. Why are you protesting against that? These, I'm not saying the war. I'll give you the war, right? Even though I believe that the intel is that Iran are some bad people over there. And the people in America are like, we're all at the gas pumps and worry about like food prices. Well, guess what? When Joe Biden was in there, no one was bitching about the gas price. When you saw
they were.
California was like, we love Gavin Newsom. We love Joe Biden.
Right.
He brought the gas prices up and the taxes and interest immediately. They talk about it. We're going to raise taxes. You see what Ma'am Dami's doing in New York right now? He's raising taxes. They are getting crushed because
they put the right-wing people were having the stickers of like Biden did that at the gas station and the pumps, you know, like I don't see Trump did that.
But what I'm saying is they're not bitching and protesting and parading to get rid of Joe Biden. They're not doing that because they're like, oh, Joe Biden, gas prices up, interest rates up.
They tried to have an insurrection.
But they're not.
They had an insurrection.
These people are not doing.
6th.
You see what that's? But that, I'm saying it's Republican. No, that's Republican.
Yeah.
No. But I'm saying that was one day, right? And it was horrible. But
yeah.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Democrats.
I know.
Democrats are silent. Democrats are silent.
You don't feel like they're as critical of the presidency.
They are not critical at all because they. It's not like they hate what's going on as much as they hate Trump. They hate Trump more than they hate the gas prices going up. I'm telling you, these old people, there's a guy, he's 172 years old. This guy walk around going, I don't like Trump. He has no idea. He has checked out. He's checked out 42 years ago. He has no idea what he's talking about. He just walks around with a thing that just says, I don't like Donald Trump, like Donald Trump took his girlfriend back in high school. He has no idea. And that's why I'm trying to say this. I wish Democrats would parade around and do this every single time a president's in office if they don't like it. They don't do that. They only parade around when you see this. Now, Republicans, let's check this out. Republicans are stepping in saying, we don't like the war because they're speaking their real feelings. They're not saying, I'm Republican, so I got to go with the war. Not doing that. They're saying, I don't like the war, so I'm speaking up. That's what solid people do. Republicans are saying, we don't agree. That's great. That shows you that Republicans are not happy about it. Democrats aren't going to do that unless they get Joe Biden. I don't like how Democrats respond. I think they're confused.
You just feel that they're the boy who cries wolf. They just complain about everything.
They complain. They complain about everything. They want the traffic ticket. They want you to have. If you go through a 5 mile per hour and a 4 mile per hour, they literally want to be so critical. Every little thing, that's what I'm saying. They talk about, when we talked about what someone wears here, like everything is roughly about being so minuscule, right? And they complain about it. If the war started and they were unhappy about it and they walked the streets, I'd say sending their kids out there at war for Israel is horrible. If that's the case. And I would agree with Democrats, but they're walking around pissing on the side of the road, wearing dog collars and blue hair and yelling all this shit about LGBTQ.
Right,
and
but remember,
it's crazy.
That's the extreme end. The same way the right wing has the KKK.
That's where the media goes. That's where the media goes.
Right, of course, because that gets the views. Right? If it's like most Democrats and most Republicans probably share the majority of issues. We just want America to be fine. We want to have affordable living. We want our families to be okay. And this is why like the polls are polling so low now.
Let's show this real quick, girl. Take a look at this clip.
America, right here. Whoa! Fucking A! Watch your back, watch your back.
Now, just for the record, I didn't put the words that was affiliated there saying that liberals are lunatics. I didn't put that. That was from the video. But you got to be a damn lunatic to, here come the police on horses. What Republican is going to go get in front of a horse and get hit by a horse, bro? Like, you got to lose your mind. Like, that's just, I hate to use a word, but that would be, you know what I'm saying? Like, an imbecile, like, what are you doing? That's just so you can say, I got ran over, I'm going to sue you, I got ran over by a horse. This is what they do. And they record that. And then every big content creator is going to post that and be like, Republicans are bullying Democrats.
Well,
that's what they do to get views.
Sometimes they drive their cars through protesters too.
Yeah.
But it's just that you have crazy people on all sides, or people that are very emotional and maybe they're not thinking clearly because they're so entrenched in their positions, you know. But if that's how strongly they believe in something, that they're willing to get ran over by a horse.
Bro, they are willing to get, ran over by the horse.
Yeah.
Will the No Kings protest do anything? Realistically.
Probably
do you
not.
think it's going to do anything?
It just creates awareness. But like, you know, one of the No Kings things, remember, this was not approved by Congress, right? So it's kind of like a unilateral decision-making process that one person made that dragged the whole country into it. And a lot of people, it doesn't sit well. I think that's like the main speaking point of the No Kings protest now.
Will it go anywhere? I think, here's what I think. You go on there and you show how many people are upset about Trump being in office and they're calling him a king. I mean, kings, he has a personality to want to be powerful, right? Is he a king? No, he can't.
He would love to be king.
He would love to be. A lot of people love to be,
Yeah.
but he can't do things that he wants to do. If he could, he would just go do them, and they're stopping him. Democrats don't like ICE. You see what's happening with ICE right now. Airports right now moving along. TSA getting their paychecks. When ICE showed up, TSA lines started moving. Before that, TSA lines are moving.
because he also approved them to get paid.
Yeah, he did approve them, but Democrats didn't want them to get paid. Democrats are the reason why they're not getting paid. Be honest, like,
Well, because they were holding out because of everything that's going on with
but
ICE.
Democrats are why they're not getting paid. So then what are they going to do? Trump's a bad person because we're not getting our paycheck at TSA. Or you can say, Democrats, you're not letting us get paid. But Democrats are going to complain about it. The people working at the damn airport, Democrats complaining about Trump being a bad president. Democrats
What
not
did
getting the paycheck.
You could
Makes
say
no
they
sense.
made him concede on it because he signed to pay them.
So now he's paid. They're paid.
But because
People are happy again.
because of the pressure from the Democrats and tried to exclude more funding to ICE, and you know, maybe they were funded a lot. Look what happened with Christy Noem, and everyone thought I was crazy for saying
we
she's
need
bad.
to fund ICE. Without ICE,
Yeah.
we have illegal people everywhere. See,
Right.
that's the thing. Democrats again are going to complain about that. When Obama was in office, kicking people out, no one cared. Literally, they didn't care. I had Democratic friends, Democratic family at the time were very excited about this. Now Trump gets in office, we're getting those people out of here. Oh, that's racist. Because that's just how it is.
But it's bigger than that, Brandon. Because remember, like Project 2025, which was denied by the Republicans, is completely true. It's like, 50% complete. Part of it is to defund the TSA. You know, they want to have the TSA defunded, and then it could become privatized. So that's part of the whole thing.
But why didn't they complain? This is because of my question. And this is to keep it easy for the people watching live in the chat right now. Why the Democrats did not complain when Obama was kicking illegal people out the country? Nobody cared. Realistically, in the chat right now, do you understand what I'm saying? When Obama was in office, nobody cared that illegal people were being kicked out the country. Trump steps in office and he ran on it. When I get in office, we're getting rid of illegal people. He ran on it. That's why, I'll be honest with you, that's why majority of people voted for Trump. The majority, 90, I'll tell you this right now, because just from having a conversation with a lot of people on both sides, Republicans, Democrats, high-end people, low-end people, we had a lot of even African Americans jump to Trump because they said, we want to get illegal people out of here for safety reasons. Our border was wide open, people poured into the damn country. Don't you think that as a country coming together, Republicans, Democrats, and I know people are going to talk shit on you, talk shit on me. I don't care about that. People come in the chat. I love and appreciate you. I don't give a damn where you're from. As a matter of fact, drop your states in the chat. Where are you from? Said you got so much to say. Drop your damn states in the chat. What city are you from? If you're from a big city, drop it in the chat right now. I want to see where you're from, everybody. James, my biggest concern is I have friends and family on both sides, and I'm as close to both of them, right? So I don't love my Republican friend more, or closer to my Republican family member or Democrat family member. To me, some of my closest people are Democrats, so I don't mind it. The point is, I believe we have a lot of similarities when we boil down to it. We don't want illegal people walking around our neighborhoods, just walking around like who people are confused to who's who, right? No one wants that. Gavin Newsom doesn't want that around his backyard. I don't believe Nancy Pelosi. I don't think Hillary Clinton. I don't think any of these people, Kamala Harris want illegal people walking in their backyard, walking through the alleyways. Who's all those people walking around? Know who they are, right? But they'll be the first to be like, this isn't right. This isn't right. Because how are they going to flip the script? How are they going to get those voters to be on their side? That's the goal. It's like a big game we're playing. It's a whole big scheme of how we can get people on our side, right? And right now, Trump is doing all the things that he believes to be correct, and he's not doing it to get votes. He's not doing it to say, I'm going to do this because I'm going to get the Republicans to vote for me next year. He knows he's losing votes. He knows he's losing the polls. He knows he's losing a lot by doing this. That's what tells me in his heart he's doing it because he believes that these people over there and his intel, right? You said maybe he's had bad communication. I'm saying his intel, because Trump doesn't live in Iran. He's not over there dealing with military. Right. So I think he's being told that Iran is becoming more powerful and they have some nuclear setups over there, and we don't want that. So let's get rid of Iran. And I think that Trump is making those steps, and he knew, I'm going to lose some of my supporters on the Republican side, and the Democrats are going to start the No Kings protest. He knew all this shit was going to happen because it happens every time he's in the office anyway. So he did it because he thought he did what's right for the country. This is why I like him. Regardless if people agree or don't agree, I think that he does what he believes to be correct for the nation, not just for one party. And so if he wants to be politically correct and be loved by everybody, then he could be like, oh, we're not going to do that because Democrats are like that. But once like that, you get nothing done. You do what Joe Biden does, do nothing. Ride a bicycle, fall on stairs, do nothing. You're old, you got to go, do nothing. That's what I think. So I don't feel that a leader is supposed to just sit back and be like, everybody tell me what to do. I think a leader has to look at it, analyze it, and make some decisions.
Right, but when you're an elected leader and you are not a king, maybe you gotta, listen to the people that you work for, because it's important. It's important as well. And it's not like he's not this isn't his company. It's and the decisions that are made are gonna have long lasting impacts for America, for the world, for the people of like Iran and these countries. So
but they're working for us, but they don't necessarily listen to us. Like that would be great.
That's the problem, because the majority
but we are not educated enough.
Yeah, but the majority of Americans are against the war in Iran.
Yeah, but we're not educated. The people that are walking around on a daily basis that are chanting shit are not educated. If you look at the people in No Kings protests walking around being like, this is bad, they know nothing. 90% of them. Why I know that is I study this every single day and I'm still confused. I study every single day. I can give you 100 reasons why we need to go to war and fix this. I can give you 100 reasons why it's a bad idea. So my point is, you have to be very high end in this to understand the war. Realistically, our military is trying to figure it out. Like, how do we get there? Marines, if we control the Strait of Hormuz? So what I'm saying is, all these protesters and these paid protesters and these people that aren't even real that are voting, and there's dead people voting, I think that these are a lot of uneducated people, not because they want to be, but they just are. They don't have the intel, and what their mouth says means nothing because they don't know enough. You can't go in there and teach a whole class physics when all you know is multiplication. Like you don't know enough.
Right.
And these are Democrats speaking out about something they don't know anything about. They might know about LGBTQ. They might know that he doesn't like that. They do know that he stopped illegal people coming into this country. They do know that there's no men and women's sports. They do know that his goal was to lower taxes, lower interest rate. They know his goals. His goals are stop wars. Those are his goals, right? Mm-hmm. And so you could speak on his goals and what's happening. That's fine. But to give someone an idea of what he should be doing in office, they know nothing. That's my opinion.
But that's why I keep telling you, it's not just him. It's also the advisors and the people he has around him. And now you have all these people trying to get their own things too. So you had the Kristi Noem huge scandal with the guy that she's supposedly hooking up with, and they're getting contracts. You have all these weird angles happening that shouldn't be happening.
So I'll say this first and foremost. If you see what's going on with drones, do you think the Trumps are dumb for going and buying stock in drones? I think it's smart. Or starting.
But with his own kid's company?
But why not? I'm saying, why not?
Because you don't have access to that type of information either.
Listen, I'm saying that it looks very bad. I'm not saying that. And if you're listening right now, what we're talking about is for the Trump family to be a part of or initiate or have stocks in or whatever
No, I don't
in
think
drone
they should.
companies.
No, they
It
shouldn't.
sounds bad, and
Yeah.
I agree with that. But I'm saying this. I do believe that knowing what's going on in the war, this is a good idea. You're like, hey, just like you bought stocks because you do what's going to happen. They have more insight on things that Trump may or may not do. Agree with that. But I don't think it's a bad thing to be like, you know what? I'm going to buy stock in this
No,
right now.
But then they get the government contracts to his son. That's a big problem.
That's a problem.
Well,
I'll give you
yeah.
that. No, I agree. But again, as a Republican, I could call a spade and say that's not good.
Right. And then they're incentivized by going to war.
Yeah, and here's my thing. I can agree when I believe that it's correct. As a Republican, I think that when you get the government contract to do it and you were in advance, you had information on it and you knew about it, that's where shit gets
Yeah.
bad. But I'm agreeing to it though, right? Democrats are going to just be like, no, when Trump is in there, and yes. That's why I don't like what these people do. That's what I'm trying to explain. I'm a stand-up person. I call it like it is.
But-
When they showed the thing when they were talking about Trump was talking about calling the Obamas monkeys, which was proven that he did not, by the way. It was a clip that had been clipped. And I got on here and I said, dude, if he's calling the Obamas monkeys, it's horrible. What are you doing? You're a leader of our country. I thought it was a bad thing. Like, I'm saying it's horrible. I'm speaking about it too. Because why? Because I'm calling a spade a spade. Democrats would just bypass things like that and then talk about things like that. That's why on this network that we're building, I just try to be as truthful as possible. I want to see Republicans make money, Democrats make money. I think the people of Iran are horrible people. And when I say the people, I'm talking about the leaders.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure, because people, the leaders of Iran are horrible people, not the Iranians, not the people walking around, the good people over there, but they got to go. Why are Democrats supporting Iran though? They're like, don't wave the American flag. Like literally, if you got a flag, I told you a couple weeks ago, and this is true, James, put American flag outside your house. They're going to think you're a Republican. That's crazy. Bro, that's crazy. If you have in the chat right now, do you have an American flag, yes or no? Do you have an American flag, yes or no? Because if you have an American flag, you are now a Republican. Congratulations. Like if you have American flag at your house, or you have it if you got it in your car, you really pushing levels right now. Like if you got an American flag in your car, if it's waving in your Jeep, you are a MAGA supporter in the Democrats' eyes. If you put it at your house, you're Republican. If you have a bumper sticker of an American flag, you're a Republican. And if you have a flag from Iran, they don't even think you're from Iran anymore. I think you're a Democrat.
What if it's a Trump sticker or an American flag on a Tesla?
If you got an American flag on it, listen, is
this pre-Doge or before?
Bro, anytime you have an American flag, okay, you are a Republican. And I think that is out of control, bro. If you literally think about that for a second, okay? And I got this clip I'm going to show real quick because a lot of people that were looking at this is from the other day that I want to show you.
We killed all their leadership, and then they met to choose new leaders, and we killed all of them. And now we have a new group, and we can easily do that, but let's see how they turn out.
We are taking out as many leaders as possible. The terrain over there is crazy. When we talk about, real quick, I'm going to get into sending our troops over there, James. This is where shit gets scary for me, right? The planes flying over, dropping bombs and getting rid of shit, not trying to hurt people over there, but taking out their situation, their oil rig, trying to create things for nuclear bomb, whatever they got going on, taking care of all their military stuff. That's great. Hurting people, hurting innocent people, the school with the kids, horrible, right? Now we got our troops that I got to head over there, right? And they're pulling up on the island. Marines are pulling up. This is where shit gets crazy. And I saw the picture and the message that was from Iran that said, welcome to hell when you get here. Shit's going to get very interesting. I don't think they have the capability that we have, nowhere near. But with China and Russia being right there, silent partners, if you will, I think it gets a little bit concerning.
But they have the defender's advantage, right? They just have to wait us out, right? And that's the same thing of like Vietnam, Afghanistan. That's the problem. And to go back to the advisors around him, I believe it was Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, who doesn't know anything about nuclear technology, is the one who told President Trump that there's a nuclear issue there, right? You know, and like, look, his advisor for education is Linda McMahon, right? What does she know about? I think you should have, that's the problem with like money getting into politics from all levels, Democrats and Republicans. You should have qualified people for these jobs, you know? I know Hegseth, he's not as a decorated military person as some of these other, like we need like a Schwarzkopf, right?
Look, look, I'm in favor of a lot of change. I'm in favor of good people. And that's why I do this right here. I'm going to pull some up on the screen. Let's pin the message here from Donald J. Plump. It said, big talk for the no war president. Okay. First and foremost, you're watching live in the chat right now. Love and appreciate you. Smack the like button. I'm going to answer this. And yes, we're going to put those call lines critical. We got to get you to call in.
What's up, Plump? We always like it when the Plump
Plump's
shows up.
got something to say. Plump just said big no war talk.
Yeah.
His goal to come in was to stop wars. He reached out to Ukraine and Russia. He tried to stop that war. He went over there. He's trying to create peace in certain areas. Going to Venezuela, trying to stop freaking drugs from coming over here. He's trying Cuba. He wants to go there now to stop that. Try to whatever that's going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. We go to war with Iran. Trump's a bad person, but why are we not talking about taking out the bad people though? Like I get going to war is horrible. These are horrible people there. I would like to see a Democrat say this. I'm so thankful that we got rid of those bad people over there, those bad leaders, but I wish we weren't going to war. That would be a very good message. I would be like, I agree with you. Like that would be an agreement. What we get from Democrats is that's all bad. Everything's bad. Those bad leaders over there, they should be alive. They're good people. They're killing thousands of people. There's literally 30, 40,000 people died in like a week. And they're like, that's okay. That's okay. It's not okay. People are horrible people. Take them out, in my opinion. We're not getting that message. So yes, Trump did not want to go to war. He said he wasn't going to focus on war. And that was because Ukraine and Russia is going on. His goal was to stop wars. I get it. It's not going like that. I do understand why people say that. Critical Enthusiast said, open up the lines. Let's get some questions in here right now. Canada is running itself into, you see this? We all need each other. That's a message right now saying Canada, we supply Canada for all these damn years. Without us, Canada, NATO needs us, period. Without NATO, they're going to have to try to flock to somebody. All these little groups are going to be like, oh, I'm in France. I'm going to go jump and hang out with China. They don't want that. Nobody wants that. Everybody this might actually help countries be a little more independent. I think that's not a bad thing, being a little bit more independent. They're not going to come to our aid anyway. So, well, I am told that these other nations now are stepping in and helping America, but you're not seeing that in the news. You're not seeing that in his other reports.
Spain closed their air. I just showed you that before we went on.
Yeah, and Switzerland also said, and I saw this last night, that Switzerland was basically saying, we're not going to supply you with these type of weapons you need in your arsenal to help you. And they're not supplying Iran either. It's just, we are staying neutral. And that's been in their whole script forever. So people that are talking about Switzerland jumping ship, that's not the truth. The truth is they have these in place for their nation to operate to protect them, which is smart. All these countries that don't want to get involved, not hating on them. The point is, though, don't have NATO. You come together. This is what we need to do. They're bad people. Help us or not. They don't want to help you. X them out. We don't need them. We don't need NATO, realistically, because what does it do? They're not helping us anyway. We are all helping Ukraine. Like when they need us, hey, America, we need you to help us with Ukraine. We need everything. Then NATO needs us now. Because guess what? When Poland gets invaded, when all these people are there, when Russia starts going into Poland, what are they going to do? We need America. What's UK going to do? We need America. These are what ifs.
I know. I get all this, but like nothing makes sense. Like they brought in the company Doge that was a terrible idea to eliminate a couple $100 million spending here, there, whatever. And now they're trying to approve a $400 billion defense budget increase or something, which is like double the amount that we had when we were at war in Afghanistan. You know, this is insane. They're using like America as the money printing machine, but the debt is going to carry on. Like, yeah, these companies are making money and, oh yeah, great. The drone company and this and that. And the military industrial company making a lot of money, but like, we're all going to pay for this. Like what happened to fixing the national debt? You know, like
we got a question here. Now you have to be a nuclear scientist to know whether or not Iran has nuclear. Like this is part of the situation. We went over there because we don't want them to have nuclear weapons. Trump made that very clear. That's what the major thing is about, right? So at this point, do they or don't they? We sent over the freaking bombs before a year ago. We thought we took it out. We didn't, apparently. Right?
But at no point do they say, oh, maybe we made a mistake. At no point.
But they took out something. So now it's like, but here's the thing. I'm not saying you can't be wrong, but finish the job. Like, see, that's what I'm trying to say. If Trump initiated this and he wants to take it out and we didn't finish the job, good, finish the job. If he finishes the job and it's done, he's saying right now that there's a deal that they're talking about in place. And people are saying that Iran is saying that we're not even talking to Trump about a deal. You think he's just making that shit up? Like he just sitting in the office being like, yeah, we're in talks of having a deal, but there's no deal.
I think it could totally be plausible.
I think that to America, you could say that we are winning by more than we're winning. I think that's possible. But I don't think that he literally is talking to nobody.
What's winning?
I'm just saying, I don't think that he's sitting there like, oh, we have a deal in place and there's just nobody talking. Like, I don't think that makes any sense.
But that's the thing. Like, what's winning? We're going to have to like rebuild an entire country.
We are not rebuilding their country.
Well, who's going to pay for it?
Not us.
Well, okay, then why?
Not us. That I know, because that the major question, by the way, Iran came back with their 5 points. Their 5 points is they want Trump not in power. They want to run the Strait of Hormuz. They want us to recognize that they run it. They want us to rebuild their entire country, which is not going to happen, right? And so then they have all these other ideas that have to come together. If we let the Democrats run this country, bro, the Democrats just give them everything.
Maybe but maybe they wouldn't have been at war in the first place.
No, but if Democrats ran this country right now,
yeah,
if Democrats were to get
whatever.
in, Democrats like, oh, how much is your house? 100,000 here. How much is your here fireplace? You want a concrete pad? You want a new pool? This is what Democrats will do, because they are going to come in very weak. Republicans are going to be very strong, whether you like the war or don't. Republicans are going to go up to you and say, I'm not fixing that shit. You guys are bad people blowing your military up. We're taking care of shit because you guys, we don't want you to be near us, and we don't want you to have the capability. Whether they do or don't, that's the argument. But if they do, I agree that we need to take out their nuclear weapons.
You know, but
do you want them to have nuclear weapons? Seriously, do you want Iran to have nuclear weapons?
Of course, nobody wants them to have
Okay,
nuclear weapons.
so we agree with that.
But they might have not have had any nuclear weapons anyway.
But we're both saying might have. Right?
But-
So let's just say this. I say might have, you
right.
say might have. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You say they might not have had it. I'm saying they might have had it. Okay. Our country, our intel is saying that they are building that. They have all this shit over there. I would use my gut, and I know that they chant death to America on a daily basis. I would use my gut to say that they are not building anything to help us. So my opinion is taking out their military power is probably very educated to do. How we did it, how we look, another question. But I believe we are doing the right thing by getting rid of their ability to create it. And I think that if we told all the Democrats that are in the No Kings protest right now, hey, by the way, Iran, we're going to let them do this thing. They're going to build the nuclear weapons. They're going to be like, what? Yep. So now they can shoot nuclears over here. Now what? Bad.
So weren't there a lot of Trump supporters that were farmers thinking that these tariffs for some reason were going to help them, and it didn't? Or all these farmers, again, that wanted help, and now they have no one on their farms, and they're declaring Chapter 12, whatever, bankruptcy.
But here's the thing. I agree with you. But this is, again, where you have to look at what a leader does. Watch this. Trump didn't sit there and say, I'm going to give you everything. He said to you, we are going to take out the illegal people. He told them in advance. They knew those people were going to be gone. They voted for him because of it. They knew they were going to be gone. So now we have Americans that are lazy and don't want to work for those low-paying prices, and illegal people will. So the point is, the illegal people that come in, a lot of Latin people, they work hard. They're very good at what they do. Sometimes they do bad. They do shoddy work sometimes too. They're not all great. But there's some great people that work for low wages, and great for them. But the reasoning is to make America depend on America. If Americans would get up and get their ass to work when you're in high school, instead of becoming an entrepreneur because you're going to run a freaking Instagram page, you're going to get your ass out there, work at McDonald's, work on the fields, go cut some grass. Like, we can start rebuilding our country in a way better way than letting, and I'm not using these bad terms wrong, instead of letting Jose and Ricardo or whatever come over here, and I'm using those words not to be disrespectful to Spanish people at all, because I'm saying that because people will say, I'm saying they come over here and they do a hell of a job working on those fields. We're giving them those opportunities because we are too lazy to do them. That's why all these landscapers out there hiring all these people. If America would follow the guidelines of, hey, now we wake up and do it, we don't have to depend on other people. So if you look at it correctly again, Elon Musk was a big time person to help Trump get elected, right? He didn't help Elon Musk. He said, I'm not making anybody get electric cars.
Oh, he helped him a lot.
No,
He bailed him out with all the
but
contracts.
but you get what I'm trying to say? Like, he could have just made everybody do electric cars like Joe Biden. He didn't do that, right? So you see how he's like, you know what? No, this isn't what America. Then he went to the farmers, right? He could have kept all those legal people on the farms. He could have kept them all there. But he said, you know what? I want to help you, but they got to go. We are making America strong. So again, he is not just looking at Republican. I'm helping you. That's not what he's doing. So I respect his motives. It's just how he handles them. And I think that's why, instead of sitting down and bringing people together, I think he's losing he's losing the Republicans that are like, I'm scared about the war. And he's losing more the Democrats that are just like, this guy he just thinks he's a king. He thinks that he's the greatest. And he thinks that he just talks in a way where he's powerful. And when you try to be too powerful, Democrats think that you're trying to be tough. That's what it really comes down to. And a lot of them, I'll be honest with you, there's some great Democrats out there, but all those people walking around there that are acting like dogs and like all this blue hair, and that's a cry for help, and they're just weak-minded. Truthfully, they're just weak people. Transgenders, I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to go into transgenders because I have been waiting on the damn policy report from YouTube that I have to put at the bottom of the screen. So when I have the transgender call in, they don't eliminate us. But transgenders, that's a whole nother conversation. And I can't even go into that because I don't even understand what they're doing. But I can have a couple of transgenders explain to us live on the show. I think that'd be freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
People, James, salute these people because we had a good conversation.
Wait, everybody.
I think a lot of people actually respect the fact that we can understand both sides. And before we go right now, any other people in the chat got a question that I can click on right now? In the chat right now, does anybody else have any other questions that I can click right here? Because I want to do that. Donald J. Plump, he always got something, said, yes, they started the process of denaturalizing legal citizens on Saturday. I want to see some of that. I do want to look into some of that because if you're not born here or you came here and had a baby right away and then your kid's supposed to be here, XYZ, we're going to talk about that. Jasper, let's read what Jasper had to say. I didn't pin Jasper's message right here. Let me pop it up because I've been focused on Democrats giving them some love in the chat. I'll do that because, bro, that's the goal. Hear what they got to say too. Republican though, we welcome immigrants. It's from Jasper. We welcome immigrants that come to America legally and salute them. It's a very good message. Democrats are going to be upset with that message. I think that's a great message. Who in the chat right now agrees with Jasper? I just pinned it. He said, if you're going to come to America, come legally. Why is that a bad message? Like, when you imagine, James, that people that read that message would go, strong for America. Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, I think these are bad things. I hate that they're here already and they're trying to kick them out. That's the shitty part. Like, you're here already, we're kicking you out. We're forcing you out and you don't want to leave and you don't want to go back to Cuba, you want to go back to Venezuela. And like all these, you see ICE tackling people because people don't like that. It looks violent because they're not leaving. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, can you imagine? I'm going to take you right now. People say, no kings, no queens, all around the world. They got kings and queens over there. Let's go to Europe right now. You go to England, bro, it's freaking Queen of England, bro. Like, what do you mean? They actually do that. Like, and they're the ones chanting no kings. They run, that's what they do. Like, they literally do that. So the point is, if you go over there, they're going to give you all these stories. And I just feel like I'm going to take you, James, and put you in England right now and walk around for more than 30 days. And let's see how shit starts getting for you. We're like, oh, where are you from? America. What are you doing here? Visiting. You got to go. Why? Because you're not supposed to be here. Now we're going to send ICE. They're not protesting that shit. You don't see Democrats are here. Oh, that's nice over there. Bullshit. They're going to send your ass right back here. And so that's what I'm saying. Why is there a disagreement with that right there? I don't understand that. Do you understand? I don't get the confusion there.
It's just it's not as simple as it sounds, right? So like when you're saying the thing about the farmers or how Trump was going to help, but it didn't. Or like you're saying, yeah, just come here legally. Yeah, but you have to have the certain pathways in place. And it seems that it just favors people with money, especially after like the Trump gold card that came out. So like, how do people that don't have a lot of money that still want to come here, they want to get their families out of a bad situation in life? What pathway? Like, we need to have better pathways, a better system in place.
But who is that focusing on?
It's both.
Not Americans.
American safety and everyone. But like, there just has to be a proper.
No, but I'm saying if we do that, if our focus point is not to just get rid of those people, but it's to create a pathway for them, that is focusing on them, right? Democrats are going to be like, that's not good. They should. But what to do is for Iran, why are we helping them? That's Israel's war. Why are we helping the Iran? Because they're all getting slaughtered over there. Well, we shouldn't help them. That's not our country, right? But see, that's what I'm saying. It's always a double-edged sword. Trump's trying to help them. Trump's trying to help Venezuela. Trump's trying to help Cuba. Why are Democrats out like, man, this guy's a good person? Because they're like, you're not focused on America.
Yeah.
But when you go to the immigrants, immigrants stopping all these illegal people, that's focused on America. They don't like that. I don't get it. You got to pick a side. You got to stick by. If you're going to stick by it, if you don't like football, you don't like football. Can't be like, I like football when Trump's there. I don't like football anymore. Like you got to either like something or not like something, and the Democrats choose to like it whenever they want to like it.
Right, but maybe
that's what I don't like.
Maybe the way they went about dealing with the immigration problem might not have been the best way, and it created its own set of problems.
Obama kicked them out. Trump kicked them out, but Trump instilled a force to make sure it happens because it wasn't getting fixed. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, letting 100 million people in here at any given time is not working. Republicans get in there. They put the hammer down, more forceful, more powerful. Democrats like, that's not fair. I want freedom of speech. I'm going to walk around and act like a dog.
Right, but then they were violating people's rights, and you have U.S. citizens dying, and it's like,
Yep.
You know, I mean, so you could.
There's some sacrifices.
But then
in
you
it.
could say maybe Obama was more effective in getting people out of the country because there was no need for that. You know,
Well, I
they
think we
they
didn't
were
know.
too lax letting people in.
I don't think we knew because I think
know?
there's a lot of people coming in this damn country that we didn't know about. But I do think
that's a problem.
I do think
Yeah.
right now, guys, nobody coming across that damn shit right now. Now I'm sure there's some people slipping through the cracks, but I promise you, this country now is getting safer here from illegal people coming in. Again, there's amazing people coming here and some shady people coming here, but there's nobody coming to this bitch right now. So we are 100% a lot safer from that regard. Republicans got to protect themselves from Democrats. Like, that's what it's coming down to, bro.
Yeah.
Literally, the states, when you walk through these states that are chanting and burning American flags, bro, I'm not a fan of that, bro. I mean, they are more excited to help, stop the war and like the people of Iran. Like, it's just crazy. They're against Jew. I agree with you. There's a lot going on in this country. It's just it's getting overwhelming.
I think it would just been easier to focus on America first if that's what you said you were going to do.
Yep, I agree.
Just do it.
In the chat right now, we love and appreciate all you beautiful people. And there was a message that I was supposed to pin to the top. Critical. I didn't see your message, and I would definitely put it in there. Drop it right now. I'll always pin your messages. We are not protesting because we think we have a king. We are protesting to prevent a king and to show we won't tolerate one. I'll give you that.
Okay.
That's a good message. I think that's a good message. I don't think we should ever have a king either. I don't think that we should ever have a king. That's a good message. I pinned it right there. And you guys know, I love and appreciate. Look, every day we come in here, whether we got 50, 100, or 500, or 800, or 2,000 people in the chat, every day is a new conversation. We love and appreciate you. Subscribe to the damn show. We're live every day, Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock. And we are adjusting our studio. And that's why you see me Monday, Tuesday. You won't see me Wednesday. We're working on some stuff. But 12 o'clock, we're in the building live. We appreciate you. I'll have a lot of uploads later today on the show, all through social media. We greatly appreciate you. And there was a question about the welfare system and changes to the welfare. Obviously, I posted something on social media. I appreciate that. I'm going to pin that. Go take a look at my social media. I just uploaded some content. How this girl's trying to buy Reese's or whatever she's trying to buy with her EBT card, and it declined it. Can't buy that anymore. Can't buy junk food, which EBT anymore. I don't know that or not, but that's out too. We got a lot to talk about. We're only supposed to be here until 1 o'clock, so I greatly appreciate it.
Maybe you should be allowed couple junk food. I mean,
junk food. Junk food is not part of the plan.
A candy bar here and there is.
Unfortunately, you can't buy junk food anymore with your EBT card.
Oh well.
We love and appreciate people watching the show. See all of you guys tomorrow live in the building. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. Follow social media. Smack the like button right now. Join the show. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see all of you tomorrow live in the chat. Jump on social media today. We'll have a lot of uploads going up.